The Trash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com and Derby Inc. magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. Wadena Cranston, August 16th. Wadena County Fairgrounds, Wadena, Minnesota. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLinks1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
I love it.
You like that, huh?
Never gets old.
You know, you should make a new one. It's just him going back and forth, back, like rewind forward.
Just that on loop.
It would be awesome.
4 minutes of the show. That'd be great.
This is episode number 44.
Nice.
If you can believe that. Coming up on a year. Pretty soon.
Good job to us.
Yeah. A lot of action over the weekend. The prevailing news, of course, coming out about Rick Engelhardt's untimely passing on Sunday from a heart attack. We've got Matt Portman here in studio with us. Brian Tompkins also here, Josh Decker, and Ben Haas. We had the Derby in Dunkirk. We'll get into Corey Neer's win a little bit later on. We're going to talk a little bit about Eddie Palleck's trip to the emergency room out there in Dunkirk. We'll talk about Howie Charrette's win and Tim Ellison's win over there in Canandaigua. But first, I mean, I think everybody sort of wants to dedicate a little bit of time to this, and I'm glad that they do, and talk a little bit about, you know, Rick and who he was. I've got a bunch of clips and stuff put together, and we've also freed up the phone line. So if anybody does want to call in, they've got the ability to. That is on the post online. I'm going to rattle that phone number off to you here in just 1 second because I don't have it memorized. It's, let me find it here. 315-257-0023. That's 257-0023. That's on the show post on Facebook as well. Talk a little bit with Jackie this morning. It was good to chat with her for a few minutes. And I saw Pat Osmond in Dunkirk, and the first thing he did is he didn't run, but he came over and big hug and had a lot of good stuff to say about Rick, and this is something that caught everybody really off guard, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we all just hung out with Rick this week. I mean, all of us have seen him, talked to him. He was at Broome County Fair, laughing and joking and just busting everybody's balls.
He's still liking stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, I see that. I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with it. But, you know, it's good to see all the support from everybody because, I mean, I put pictures and pictures and pictures, I mean, 100 of pictures yesterday, and I have every single one of them has over 100 likes, just the amount of people that were seeing them and loving them. And let me tell you, Rick used to come on the show, and he always would ask me, I'm going to send you pictures. Please put them on the United States page. Put them on Northeast. Put them on. Mm-hmm. He loved his pictures being seen. He loved people knowing who he was, and I wish he could see how many people were.
He loved the show.
Yeah, he loved it.
He just loved everything about, he just loved everything about Demolition Derby and everything about his family too. I mean, he pretty much embodied everything you would want to see from somebody in the sport on both sides of it. Just an all-around good dude, you know.
When it comes to Demolition Derby, you know, I was with some friends today. We were all talking about him, and this man lived one of the best Derby careers ever. Like, to look at his career was awesome. He was, I bet he's wrecked. I mean, how many Imperials? I mean, I've seen him run personally. I've watched him run 50-plus times, me seeing him, and he has never taken his foot off the gas any of them 50 times. He's brought junk every time, and he always gets out with a smile on his face.
His famous shift on the fly.
You know, and
never let off.
And he was so great. I mean, no matter if you had a good day or a bad day, he always made you laugh. He was always supportive. So many times I got junked, and Rick put his hand on my back and just said, "Josh, don't worry, just go build another one, dude. Just go build another one and junk these guys."
He told you your motor was toast and thought it was hilarious.
That's the last thing he ever said to me. It was he was the first one up at me at my car, and he's laughing. He's like, "That motor's junk, Decker." And I didn't even know it yet. He goes, "That thing is junk, I'm telling you." And he just smiled and walked away, and that was Rick. You know, he's just always really positive, and he's definitely going to be missed, man. He's definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, because he had that
aura about
that. Well, he had that balance. He had that balance, and a rare balance between the Derby, because Derby life can take somebody's life completely up.
Sure.
But he still had more than enough time in a day for other people and especially the family.
Did you see his post on Facebook just a couple days ago? It said, my phone is shut off and I'm with my family all day. If you need to get hold of me, wait till later.
Yep.
And that's I was actually I went to Broome last week, and I didn't realize Rick was. I did. I guess I'd seen him before, and my son and I were looking for a place to sit, and we went up and sat, and sure enough, Rick was sitting behind us, and we just we talked Derby all night, and he didn't have his kids with him, which was strange, but he and his wife are divorced, and I guess she had him for the week or whatever. And,
up in Dunkirk,
yeah. But
Fredonia.
He was doing play-by-play for his son over the phone through the compact feature. And we'd talked throughout the feature, and it got the cars coming out, and he goes, well, Tompkins, he goes, how long is it going to last? I said, Rick, 10 minutes. It's going to be done in 10 minutes. All right, he goes, I'm going to take, I think he took like 8:30 or 8:35, and so the Derby starts, and it was a great show. And gets done, and he goes, hey, you're right, 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes.
And that's
I seen a clip.
that was the last thing he said to me, was you're right, it's 10 minutes. And it just, I was working yesterday, and I came out to the car for lunch, and I had the message from Chris that said, call me ASAP. And I was just one of those things, I knew it was bad, and I didn't called Chris and didn't get an answer. And then I saw Josh's post, and, it brought me to tears, and I'm kind of fighting them back now. And it's, we all know him as a Derby guy, but I mean, you look at the pictures on Facebook of his kids, and they lost their dad.
Yeah, definitely, Brian. He was, if you hung out with him, every time we come to this show, we didn't talk about Derby on the way or back. We always talked about his family and his kids, and, that's what that's all.
Always.
Every day with him.
And I hope everybody, and I'm going to keep pushing on Facebook, but Jay Tweety, which was a great friend of Rick, is trying to get a trust fund together for his kids. And trust me when I say, if we could talk to Rick, he would say, just take care of them kids.
Yeah.
Just take care of them kids. So you're going to see me pushing a lot of stuff for these kids, but they're great kids, and they had a great dad, and this was taken, it's horrible.
Super great
and
kid.
the thing, his oldest son, I think his name is Robbie.
Yep.
He's got Rick's smile.
Oh, he is Rick.
I mean,
He is
that
Rick.
kid. There's not a father and son that I've seen that look more like. And I mean, even after Morris this year, Rick didn't have a good go at Morris in the feature. But by the time I got back to the trailer, his kids were with him, and the smile was there. He was happy again. He was.
Do you want to watch some of Morris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some clips?
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that I pulled out.
That's what we.
This is. Oh, let me get this out of here. Yeah, this was just this past spring. This is just the Imperial heat because it only took like 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there wasn't.
There wasn't a lot there, and I didn't edit.
In a sad part, in a funny, not the sad part, but the funny thing about this is Rick, before he went out, he's like, man, he goes, my car is not running right.
No,
it's just not running right.
He kept saying that to me too.
Like, he goes, that's not running right. I'm like, well, that means it'll last more than a couple minutes.
Like, as you can hear, it's just him on the gas, man. He just never takes his foot off.
He's just on the gas.
And that was with the transmission that they drained the fluid out of, and it looked like strawberry milk because it was full of water.
Yep. Smile ear to ear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
right
he did
here.
it the whole time he was running too.
Oh yeah.
Every time you seen him pass, he was always just
laughing
smiles.
at it.
And I couldn't decide between Josh's camera and the in-car that Rick had, so I just left the in-car camera in the corner the whole time because I didn't want to take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it's so much fun to watch him drive. This guy in the orange.
Cummings,
Yeah.
No, wasn't that the car that was at Brookfield last
Yeah,
year?
he bought a bunch of cars, and that one it was just kind of a backup car he didn't plan on running, but he was.
You know what always amazed me?
By the way,
about him?
Rick's rear tires have not dropped below 9,000 RPM.
And the funny thing too is the box car. There's a picture on Facebook of Rick parked on that, and I think that was at Brookfield the year before.
Brookfield the year before, yeah.
The thing about it is his stuff always held up. Like, no one had the luck of him. Like, his stuff was tight.
Yeah.
His motor training rear end combination, man. He was going to be there at the end, no matter how hard he ran.
And the thing about it is,
We're going to take a look at that in a minute.
He was Rick never overbuilt.
No, never.
Never overbuilt. So
never.
So you're.
It was all driver, man.
Yeah.
It was all driver.
Even if it was just the motor training run hitting you, he would be there in the future.
There
wouldn't be anything else around it, but he would be there.
Oh, he'd hit with the front of the motor.
Absolutely.
Especially.
Ask Brett Rowley.
That was what was it, a couple years ago?
The wagon.
A couple years ago, Brookfield, or 2 or 3 years ago, when him and Beersy and all them guys were going at it.
Oh, yeah.
And Rick had like no front clip on his car.
Yes.
Yeah, showed up without one. Started that way.
I shared that last night.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
That's the definition. He don't.
Here he goes.
He'd hit you.
That guy's about to have a world of hurt.
Yeah.
Kapop.
Yeah.
Nice, Ricky. Nice, Rick.
Yeah. He'd hit you anyway.
Sideways,
backwards.
Did you see Jim in the car just throw his hand up in the air? He knew he didn't have a chance now.
Rick's just smiling right here.
Oh, yeah.
And then flaps never go down. Never touch his stacks again.
Travis Seward said that he knew that was his only chance when he saw that the flaps on the stacks were down in the feature. That's when he come across the track and walloped him.
That was yeah. I mean, that was
his only chance.
I think this is the motor that came in this car, though. He said, right? Because this one was knocking or something, right, Ben?
Oh, he said it was
knocking bad.
Yeah. So yeah.
I heard it at his house. It was still knocking after the Derby, but. Rick was one of the first ones in our area to run Magnums.
But when you float the valves, I guess it doesn't matter, right?
Well, I hope some of your clips tonight got him when he's got some Magnums in there.
Yeah.
Rick converted me to Magnums. Last year at Walton, I stood with Brett, and it was shaking that place. And I remember saying right then, I looked right at Brett, I go, I'm only running Magnums. Rick convinced me on that.
Yeah.
The first one he built, I was in the shop with the first one he was building.
Really?
Picking up a tranny, the first tranny I bought from him.
Today I picked up a car actually from Brett that Brett's gonna let me run, but it's actually got Rick's motor that Rick junked in Brett's car. Rick rebuilt it, and it's sitting in it.
Oh, yeah.
Last year.
Nope, it's in some. Yeah, but it's in
from
some.
the wagon.
Mm-hmm. So I think that might make the track maybe here soon. Let Rick's Magnum scream one more time.
This might be. I got this here. This was some. You've already seen some of it in the heat there, but I had some more clips from 2013 at Wheel Days. And here, if you want to see.
Who's got more flips than him? I mean, he's rolled over more people than anybody, right?
Oh.
I bet he has the most rollovers in the Northeast.
I would. I mean, we had guys flipping themselves on Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely right. I mean,
He's rolled some people.
He's sent some people hard.
That was.
Yeah, that was the Cummings shot.
That's just his old Junker 18.
I think that's me laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
There's Wheel Days.
This is Wheel Days, right?
This is
this
is Brett's wagon.
Bomb.
Yeah, that right there, that shut her down.
Oh, it junked the whole front of that motor.
But look at the nose, it just stood right up.
Oh, this is a feature.
Yeah.
This is
Man, that was deep.
Yeah, but
That was
watch.
deep.
Oh no, it didn't show up.
He missed that. He missed that Lincoln by about 8, or that caddy by about 8 inches.
Watch this. Pop.
Went all the way past your side.
The Menards and Buells have definitely taken some beatings from
Yeah.
some shots from Rick over the years.
I think Josh bought Facebook. He painted more trade.
Oh, yeah.
Traded the paint.
That's the motor that he really burned up.
Broke. Literally. Pieces.
Yep.
I call him the king of Imperials. I really believe he was. I mean, I don't know that many guys that run more Imperials than him. And I loved when you pulled into a show and that son of a bitch was pulling in with an Imperial. It's like, people are in some pain tonight.
Yeah, they're gonna get it. Somebody's getting some.
And he never
You could hear the wind go out of people's sails as soon as
I've been there. I told a story on here once. He knocked my brother clean out.
Yeah.
He knocked my brother dumb before.
And you loved your brother so much that you shipped him off and wanted to run his car in the Consi that
Yeah,
night.
absolutely.
And it wasn't just an Imperials either.
Oh, he would run.
I'm telling you,
Grand
the
Fury.
first time I ran against Rick was in Afton.
Oh, I love that.
Years ago. I took an Imperial down there. He had a Cordoba. you know, you always heard guys from Walton,
yeah.
Look out for that Englehart guy. I'm like, who the hell's Rick Engelhardt? You know,
He's the
who's
reason
this
why I
guy?
got in-car cameras.
Next thing you
No
know, after the Derby, I'm like, they're like, yeah, who's that guy in that Cordoba? That's that Rick Engelhardt. I'm like, man, that son of a bitch went by me at like 40 in a Cordoba, you know, and it didn't matter what he was in. He was floorboard deep, and he drive.
I'm jealous of his career really, because he is the ultimate Derby career. Somebody that never took their foot off the gas, drove the balls off everything, was always there at the end. There at the end.
Yeah.
And then he got out and he smiled and
happy.
laughed and loved you.
Talked
And
to everybody, didn't matter
happy.
who it was.
Yeah.
That's the picture of that Grand Fury that's just wadded. I mean, that's like the ultimate Derby picture. You know, the one on the trailer that he ran last year. You know, I mean, the guys say the bumper's on the carburetor. The bumper really
I was
on
there.
the carburetor.
It's touching. You can't put your hands.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no back end. I mean, it's just you can't get no more use out of a car. And I mean, that's
But the thing about it is he'd have a car like that, and somehow he would continue to keep that thing moving.
Yeah.
Until there was no life in it.
Yeah.
And he was it's so funny. He built me 2 trannies this year, and we happened to break one the other night. Not his fault at all. We put it in too hard and it broke in the case of it. And we started talking about there's no one else to build Mopar trannies, and I bet you there's so many Mopar trannies in the Northeast that Rick built.
Oh.
And we said I got one left. I'm thinking about just throwing it in the side of the garage, or do you go run the balls off of it? I don't know, but he's got trannies that he ran 20 plus times, more than that, and they lasted.
One of his trannies was sending shit Saturday night.
Was it?
Canandaigua.
Yep.
That was in Timmy's Fury.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that one that's in that Imperial is from him too.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
One.
my old tranny. So there's at least.
Oh, I know
25,
so many cars.
25.
Brett's got 6 cars sitting up there with Rick trannies in them. That's Rick's. That's Rick's.
Yeah.
I got one. I bought an Englehart tranny back in the day when they were.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, Jay Tweety.
Jay Tweety's on the phone. Jay, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, I'm considering we're doing okay. Brian,
Yes, sir.
Josh, how you guys doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
We're great, Jay.
All right. How's the show going? I haven't even been watching it or nothing. I wait until you guys put it on.
It's going okay. I think we're moving along.
Seen some video of Rick. That was good to see.
I got some more stuff to play here.
Jay, tell that old story about how you black flagged Rick for a driver door hit,
2 years ago.
and he was mad forever at
Why
you.
would I even think that you would bring that up?
I was the one always pouring the coals to it. I'd text Rick and say, "Hey, Jay said hi."
Well, I'll tell you what. Rick and I have been very close friends for a long time. And he was there for me through thick and thin, and as I was for him. And that night, our friendship took a complete flop. Degrees. Out on that track. When he stuck that finger up at me and told me what he thought about that call. He called me every name but my true name that night on the track. And it was a call that very controversial, and he looked at our side of the view, and he saw his side of the view, and I'll tell you what, the man, when he met Jackie, his fiance, the man did a complete turnaround, and he actually apologized to me for acting like y'all did or whatever through the whole thing, and he was a real man about it. And I got my friend back.
Yep. Definitely.
And these last 2 days have been very hard for me and for all of us guys that are even involved in the Derby. But mine and Rick and relationship as friends went more than just Derby. Ex-girlfriends and so on. All drinking a few nights and just so he can get me out of the house or I get him out of the house. We've had some really, really good times. But as a Derby driver, in my opinion, I feel around this area, he was like the Dale Earnhardt for NASCAR. And he was just normal with a car. He knew where to put it, knew what to do when he was out there.
No doubt about it.
No doubt.
So,
And that's where he felt the most comfortable. I mean, on this show, he talked about how relaxed he sat in an Imperial. Watch these videos. He never takes his shoulders off the backrest. He's Sunday driving with his foot in the floor.
I think his shoulders are against the backrest because he's pushing so hard with the right foot.
You know, that's probably true.
I think that's what it is. trying to push that pedal a little harder.
But, you know, Jay is...
every time he would hit a car and roll it over, that left hand would come out of that driver's side window.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
That crowd would go wild.
Absolutely right. He's probably had the most people scream for him,
He never
you know?
rolled a car in Walton, but in Brookfield, I know of 3 of them that he rolled.
Yeah, we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch a piece of that here in a minute.
In Brookfield and 1 in Morris, and it just he was at his glory, and like I say, his fiance, he just wanted to spend more time with them and so on. So he was letting off on Derby some.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was.
And I think a couple of years from now, he would have retired. I know he's been talking about it. He said he'd probably make a grand entrance back when his boy Robbie, his oldest boy, decided to get into it. He was going to go out there and show Robbie that Robbie was not going to be his old man in the Derby.
Yeah.
That's his exact words, and he just told me that Wednesday when he called me. We crossed paths on 206. He was headed to Whitney Point to watch the Derby, and I was headed home from work. And he gave me a call, and that's when we were talking about it.
Yeah, he'd told me before that recently that he was thinking about getting out of it. So I didn't think he'd be doing it much longer.
He said it to me, and I wasn't accepting
I'm
it.
tired of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really accepting, but he said it.
He's one of those guys that, you know, it's going to suck for us now because at a lot of he supported a ton of shows.
Yes, he did.
And with him gone, not at these shows, it's really going to affect. It's going to affect.
It's a huge hole.
It is a huge hole. I mean,
there's people
huge
there on Facebook that they do. I mean, we have hardcore Derby fans in this town, in this county.
Yes, you do.
And I mean, when you can sell out a crowd for 5,000 people and still have thousands more wanting tickets,
oh God, yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
But as for him, he just he loved it. He loved it.
And he just had no fear out there. Jay is his family's hooked up with the Walton Fair, so that's where Rick would always run at Walton.
It was his hometown.
And Walton is one of the longest tracks. And I'll be honest, I've derbied a lot. I pulled out on that track one time, and it puts a little.
Dude,
it's long.
Yeah.
And
But
Rick,
with the car you were driving on, what, 4 cylinders or 6 cylinders?
Thanks, Brett. Really?
hey Jay. But I'll tell you what, you know, to look down that track, and Rick would go all the way down and turn around.
Well,
it's like, man, this guy's got balls.
Yeah,
man, this guy's got balls.
The first time I went to Walton and watched, I mean, it was a long time ago when we were on the old track before all the floods.
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes, it seemed like the first 5 minutes of the feature, him, Beersy, and them guys, I'm like, what are they doing in the middle of the track? They were literally clearing the cars out of the middle of the track so they had a runway to get to end to end.
I believe that.
And I'm up there, I'm like, yes! I said, this is going to be a good show. But it was just amazing. That was the first time I actually been, because everybody always told me the place sells out at both sides of the track. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
These guys junk Imperials and Heats and this and that. Went down there, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is good.
That place is the real deal.
Rick and Beersy and Hippie and Dave Smith and all them guys are just sending
I had a whole lot of respect for Rick, because back in the day, you know, a few years ago, we had cages and halos. We let the guys do, you know, build their cars and everything else. And
Brad Davis, we'll get to you,
out
buddy.
of hand.
Brad Davis is calling in, too.
Not because of a certain Crown Vic or nothing like that. It just got built very, very tough. And to be honest with you, with the insurance companies in these county fairs, the county fairs, yeah, they make the rules, but it's the insurance companies that say, all right, enough is enough. And what fair is it now that doesn't even have a derby, and they used to have a great derby? Somebody got hurt, and insurance companies said no more.
Yeah, after.
And, I mean, everybody thinks that, you know, all these promoters and fairs and stuff like that want to go to stock rules and all that. I'll tell you what, these guys' hands are tied when it comes to insurance.
Right.
There's only 2 or 3 companies in this country that will insure fairs, county fairs.
Right.
And when you have people getting hurt and suing and stuff like that, it just it is a shame. And it's this year Walton is going to have all new rules for the pits. Nobody is going to be allowed unless you're a driver or if you sign a release into the pits before they even go out on the track. And before, everybody would go in there, kids and parents and so on. I mean, it was just...
It does get dangerous when you're unloading cars. It's the same at my county fair, Broome County. There's kids. I got to tell kids to get out of my way while I'm unloading my car in the pits. It's you're right, Jay. It's changing. Times are changing.
It's hard for all these fairs to keep going with insurance companies. And but anyway, back to the story. Rick gained so much respect from me and my family when they went back to a stock rule. You run in stock cars, and a lot of drivers were upset, and they boycotted it. And we didn't have but a handful of cars for both nights. Rick Engelhardt still showed up. Jared Stanton still showed up and put on one of the greatest shows with just a few amount of cars.
Yep.
Few amount of cars, that means they gave Rick more running space. He was happy.
So what's that?
Said a fewer amount of cars, Rick had more running space. He was happy.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
And all he would do is lay a couple beads of weld on the shocks on the bumper and send it.
Like I said, he never overbuilt. He never overbuilt. Never had to worry about it.
We got calls backing up.
Sorry. Go ahead. Jay, thanks for calling in, man.
Here in the big car heat, everybody was after Mr. Englehart. And you could tell. The upper end of the track, there was no cars. A couple of dead ones. Everybody is down at the lower end. Rick would come flying up, do a 180, or even try and do a donut. And that was Rick. He always did that. The crowd loved it. And come right back down in that group of cars, and it's like 6 on 1. And here he comes back up the track, right back down into it again, and he won the seat. I mean, he
was a great driver.
Everybody, like every driver says, you always try to go for the best car out there, the best driver out there. And that was Rick and Walton. Everybody was after Rick and Walton. Burkfield, so on. But he's going to be deeply missed out on the track in Brookfield, Morris, and then Walton. Like I say, a lot of fans from Walton have even said it's not going to be the same. But Rick even told me nobody's irreplaceable. There's going to be somebody else comes along, but it just hurts knowing that the 33R won't be out there anymore.
Right.
And
for sure.
Even at Brookfield. But he was a great friend, guys. And
yes, he was.
Definitely.
Josh and I were talking on the phone this morning, and he would never admit it. He would never admit it. He would say to me, "Jay, Tweety, you're the man."
He said that to me all the time.
man.
You just took a lot of wind out of Josh's sails.
He would write it to me like a couple times a week. That's all he'd write to me. "You're the man." It's like, dude, you're the man. I loved it.
I would get those from him too on occasion.
That.
Yep.
And like I told Josh on my phone, I was looking at everything people were writing about him and stuff like that, and kind of held the phone out and looked up over my shoulder, and I said, "Buddy, you reading all this stuff, what these guys are all saying? Dude, you were loved out on the track. Yeah, you had your enemies, but you were definitely loved out on the track by spectators and competitors."
1,000%.
Great point.
All you guys out on the track, even in his shop, for helping guys out. Jared Stanton, 1 year with a stock rule, there was a little bit of confusion in it, and he put a steering knuckle down in the steering shaft, and it wasn't supposed to be there. And they told him, "You can't run." And it was in a Cordova, and Rick comes over and asks him, he says, "What's the problem?" He says, "Well, I got the steering knuckle in my stem, they won't let me run." Rick looked right at Jared and says, "Well, have your brother run right up my shop. Right on the floor of my shop sits a column for a Cordoba. Go get it. Use it.
Right.
Jared Graham.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, I appreciate you calling in.
That's the guy Rick was. He helping guys change tires, and I mean, Dave Smith could probably tell you so many stories about them guys hanging out and derbying together and so on. It was great to see Dave Smith and Rick out there last year in Walton in the final heat, beating each other right to death.
Yeah.
Then coming up on the stage, you get their first and second place trophy.
Yep.
Shaking hands and hugs.
Yep.
And just nothing but smiles. I mean, that's what, in my opinion, that's what derby is about. It's a family.
For
and
sure.
all you guys are all family.
Well,
and a lot of you that are out there, I wouldn't know you unless it was because of Rick.
Definitely.
It's the only reason why I do.
Yep.
Yes.
He introduced me to a lot of great guys, a lot of good friends now. And if I could do anything for any of you guys, I'm just a phone call away, boys.
Same here, Jay.
We appreciate it, Jay. Brad Davis has been ringing in here a couple times. He's got a couple things he wants to say real quick before we move on. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Well, thanks for letting me talk.
You bet, no
Thanks,
problem.
Jay.
See you later,
All
Jay.
right, guys.
Thanks,
Talk
Jay.
to you later. Bye.
As you're doing that, as you're making that call real quick, you got to make the call?
Yeah, I'm going to call him back.
Okay, I know that Jay's been a great friend of Rick's for a long time. We're trying to do a trust fund for the kids, okay? I know that they're giving away decals. They're going to be at Morris, and they're going to be at, they're going to be all summer. They're trying to make shirts. They're making decals.
Yeah.
It's all donations. The guy that's making them is from, and I'm sorry, I'm going to screw up the name. I think it's Hill Shop Garage that's in Walton, but they're going to...
Eric Simons?
Yeah. And they're just getting... And all donations are for the kids. So anything you see Rick Engelhardt, it's all going to go towards the kids. Trust me, that's what he wants. That's what he wanted.
Absolutely.
Just please do your little part. Even if you have $2, give $2 to it or whatever.
Something.
But help those kids because they're great kids and they're going to miss a great dad. You know.
Got a couple minutes with Brad Davis here. Brad, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Outstanding.
And as good as we can be.
Right.
You know, what's to be expected anyway.
Sure.
I had just started the podcast. I didn't realize I'd started it a little late. Then I noticed the live button when Jay Tweety was just on there. I couldn't agree with more to do with that, and I saw that. Now I'm speaking with Chris, right?
You got everybody. You got Josh Decker.
Got us
You got
all.
Ben Host, Matt Portman, and
I'm watching online, and it's not showing that.
oh well, I can show you them.
But yeah, I'm a little confused here.
Give
Hi,
it,
Josh.
give it about 20.
Yeah.
You should be able to see it at home now.
Imagine that. Josh is the one to get
I
said hi
just
to.
hit
That's all
live,
right, though.
and it's still not working.
All right.
It's okay, man.
There's going to be a pretty good delay between where we are right now and by the time it gets to you because you live out in the woods.
That is true. That is
I'm
true.
not too good with technology, fellas.
Don't worry about it.
I'm better
That's
at
all
building
right.
cars.
That's all right.
But I was watching the clip that you put up of Morris, and
Actually, I got some more stuff. You want? I'll play Brookfield Wheel Days while we're talking with you.
all right, absolutely. I just wanted to say you guys were talking about the drivetrain and stuff in that.
This is from way back.
That Chrysler Cordoba that he ran last year at Father's Day Spring Fling.
Yep.
That is what that motor come out of. And we put it down in that Imperial. We had to strip 2 cars to build that car. Rick and I, his buddy Snapper. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
He helped out a little bit. We built that car in about a day and a half, 2 days. We took all this best stuff. We stuffed it in that car. We like I heard the one guy say there that we made the comment that the motor was full like milk and the transmission. Well, that's no joke at all. We drained the fluids out of that motor and tranny about, if I had to guess, 2 o'clock in the morning of Morris. And he sent me home. He says, Brad, I appreciate it and everything. I'm glad you were here. And he said, I'll get fluid and stuff in the morning. And I said, well, I hope you're there. I couldn't help that guy enough, and you know what? He was always there. Like Josh has said, Decker, everybody. If that man would help anybody to get anybody at the track.
Yeah, he would.
And I'm telling you, you guys and anybody that's listening, I only have done what I've done because of Rick.
Yeah.
He's the whole drivetrain in my car. The transmission comes from him. He helped me out with the engine. He gave me the rear end. He did the gears in it. He told me, nothing better than a Neurat slider.
Yep.
Same
thing to me.
Can't say enough about the guy, and that's why I sat on the phone for 20 minutes waiting to talk. Rick is like a hero of mine. He's absolutely my biggest hero in Demolition Derby. I mean, I'm sorry to break Decker's heart, but
I'm okay with that.
I've watched him a long time, and to think, when I first started, I tried everything I could because I wanted to break him. I really did. I went right full tilt after Rick every time, and I couldn't do it. And of course, just like any other time, he junked me.
I was gonna say he'd junk you and then just keep derbying.
Exactly.
Been there, buddy.
I mean, that's just how he was. He was just such a phenomenal guy. Tweed was dead on. He was so phenomenal. I mean, I feel like I'm just rambling, but I
Did
can't
he just
say
back
enough
off that
about
car
the
over
guy.
after he tipped it over?
Yeah, we're gonna watch it again from another angle here in a second. It was a red flag for over 12 minutes when that happened, because they had to get him peeled out. The roof had sunk right down flat, and he parked on top of him. And I had a couple of minutes to kill here, so in a second here they're gonna play back through a replay of that, because I had a camera on Rick's car when he did it. Here it comes. He's about to open it up right here, and there he goes.
Just foot in the floor. Still.
Put it in reverse.
Flappers wide open.
Back it up, Rick. There you go.
There you go.
And back to derbying.
In a second he would have. Yeah.
Oh man.
That
was that Fury from Cliff Donnelly.
That's right. Yep.
And that car was fun, too. Cliffy gave him that car. I was over there to give him a hand with that car, too. We changed the transmission. Of course, Rick, he had to have his tranny. We put a slider in it. We put a rear end in it. And I think we might have put his tranny box in it. And it was funny. I'd never seen Rick drink beer or anything like that. But him and I, we had a couple beers each. And he's like, "Dad, you want to go have some fun?" I said, "Absolutely. Why not?" And that man drank 2 Coors Lights, and he got in that car, and he's ripping up and down his driveway, and he took his New Yorker he had ran at Walton the year before, and it was sitting in his yard, and he wailed on the back of that car, and he drove right up on the back of it. He gets out and everything. He says, "How about you give it a shot?" And I hit it, and he says, "Why are you being a pansy?" And okay, so I backed up all the way across his yard, and I parked it on the roof of that Walton car. I put the back bumper right through the back window. And next thing I know, he's yelling at me to shut it down and everything, because I had snapped the front bumper off it. I broke the bumper shocks. So then he's like, "Well, great, now I got to fix it. The Derby's tomorrow." I'm like, "Sorry." That's how it goes. But I mean, I've had a blast building cars with him, and I've learned so much from him.
Yep.
Like Jay said, he's going to be missed.
Yeah, he is.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Hugely.
And I know there's been some talk about drivers because Rick ran a couple fairs and they're about to come up. Unfortunately, they're about to come up. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of drivers have talked about maybe possibly painting their cars all Rick's old yellow and coming. And I encourage that. I kind of encourage that to Rick. If you pass, Rick would run for you. And I'm trying to throw a car together, and I think it'll happen because I want to run for Rick. I'd kind of like to. I don't know. I think it would be a good memory of him if we could all get a whole bunch of yellow cars, all be smashing full tilt on each other.
Smashing the hell right out of them.
And just not care
Just
like
keep
he
on
would.
going,
Yeah. And, I'm going to try to do my part for that.
Brad, man, I appreciate you calling in tonight.
Well, I just want to say one thing to add with Decker.
Yeah.
I did qualify up to July, Brookfield, and I am going to State Fair. I've got a 99 Monte Carlo, and that's already my plan. I've got a guy lined up to vinyl it, and
nice.
it's getting painted bright yellow with white doors. And I want to put some kind of memorial thing for Rick right on the car.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And I will be, actually, Chris, when I talked to you at Morris, I told you I had a junk Cadillac.
Yeah.
And you said, well, I hope you can scab it back together for wheel days. I already did. So that's coming up wheel days, and it's a pile. I pulled the body out and everything. I mean, this thing's junk. But it's like a waste of time of painting it. But I'm going to spray that yellow, and that's going to have Rick on it too.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good.
And
Awesome.
I'm just like Josh just said, I'm going to stand on that thing. I don't care if it lasts 1 hit, 2 hits, I don't care. I want to just go out, and I'd love to make my buddy proud.
There's going to be a lot of junk in the Northeast for the next few weeks. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yep.
I know.
Whitesman's going to be
I
busy.
wish I
Just
could
for
get
him,
something
man.
and get something together. Rick actually for the up until now last year, he had harped on me about running Walton with him. He's been wanting me to run Walton, and I've never had the interest. And the plan was next year I was going to run with him. I was going to buy a car, and we were going to go to Walton. And now I've got mixed feelings about it. Do I want to run without Rick over at his hometown show, or do I never want to run? You know,
Right.
What would he say to you?
He would
say,
that today.
what would he say to
He'd
you?
ask you why you're being a pussy.
Yeah, he really would.
Paint it yellow on Sunday.
Pansy.
That's what you
would
should do.
Why you being a pansy?
Pansy, yeah.
Build it and
You know,
send it,
I
man.
want to go for Rick. I really
Yes,
do.
exactly. Exactly.
Apparently, I'm going to have to get in touch with Decker. You know,
I'll get you a car for
My
that.
phone number.
Send it to me. Facebook me.
Dude, you just called me earlier. You told me to take care of it. I'll take care of it,
It's
Brad.
done.
I'll take care of it.
Chris is Decker's
I will
agent.
take care of it.
Everything's good.
Yeah, it's his
Everything's
booking
good.
agent.
Yeah. Chris, handle that.
I'm on it. I've already got it. We're good.
Thank you, guys.
But yeah, Brad, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, Brad.
We're gonna
All right.
got one more piece to play
Appreciate
real
it, guys.
quick, and we're gonna talk about upcoming stuff and put a fork in this one. Brad, man, I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
I appreciate you guys. Take
Thanks,
it
man.
easy.
We'll see you. I got one last thing that I wanted to play that was important to get on here.
Yeah,
Everybody's already seen it.
Hillside Body, Bill Banks, and anybody from down in Walton area, that's the guy that's doing the decals. Please go on my Facebook if you want to buy some, so you can put them on their cars.
His number's on that,
Yep,
too.
he'll make matching ones to your cars, or of course I want yellow ones like Rick had, but I encourage everyone, put his number on your car just to show your support that you loved him, and he would appreciate it, you know.
We're gonna play this real quick, and then we're gonna go into the ads, and we'll come back
Come
and
on, Foreman.
talk about what's coming up.
Why you gotta yell at me?
Because
You're screwing shit up.
Because you're over there being a rookie.
Nice shirt.
He is a rookie
Second
driver.
time in 3 days that's happened.
Decker's needed something.
Right here's awesome. This is an awesome clip for him.
This one hit of the year.
This was
2012.
awesome. Yeah, I like this whole
New
thing.
York.
It's neutral dropping, right?
That's where
Love the
The
neutral
Walton
drop.
Wild Man with a heavy right foot was carrying the onboard camera during his full-size heat at the Brookfield Wheel Days at the Madison County Fairgrounds in Brookfield, New York, where he hoped to defend his 2011 championship. Englehart, ranked among the top 20 drivers in Empire State by many in common derby circles, is
Top
known
10.
for his hard driving
Top 5.
style and didn't disappoint in his lone outing in front of the Smash Empire Films camera. If you watch close, you can see Rick's trademark shift on the fly technique. He'll be wide open going forward, slam, reverse without lifting, make another.
That was Buell, wasn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Woody always
He
tell
had
us
material
when we
for
bought a
all
training.
material qualifiers.
Don't
And then
neutral drop.
Lift
Take your
before you
foot.
shift.
Yeah, exactly. He did.
Who was I saying?
Then you ask him, Rick, you don't lift when you shift.
Well, I got to test it.
I
If I
built
break it, I build it.
I don't know how that clip got in there 3 times, but it was worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was his work in qualifying heat number 5 that cemented his candidacy and ultimately his winning of the 2012 Smash Empire Films Hit of the Year. Thanks so much for joining us as we recap the 2012 season. A special thanks go out to all the promoters.
And
can I say just a line that Rick used to say?
What's that?
He used to say, "Love me or hate me, it doesn't matter because I'm either in your head or I'm in your heart. You'll never forget me." And I think it's true. He used to say it all the time.
Yep.
And there were people that booed him, but they never forgot that son of a bitch.
No.
You never forgot that guy.
He'll never be forgotten.
Hey, Chris, you ought to go to the board of directors for Smash Empire Films, and maybe consider changing the hit of the year to maybe the Rick Engelhardt.
I already posted
Memorial.
that.
Hands down.
I already posted that last
Really?
night. Last night at 4 a.m.
Oh, I was sleeping at 4 a.m. I apologize.
I posted that.
My bad.
That's yeah. I figured you were just.
But I'll tell you what, when you said that, you know why it should be anyway? Because I wrote right on there. Rick would have probably won it the next 5 years anyway.
Wait a minute.
So you might as
is
well
that
name
on
it.
Smash Empire?
I don't even know where I posted it. I mean, we got home from Hank's garage pretty late. and I don't remember, but I saw it, and it was like I thought about it all day, you know. And it's one of those things: is it too soon? Is it too hokey?
No, it's appropriate.
But
100%.
I mean, that guy,
100% fits. That's to the T. Right
He
there.
is
That's the definition.
He is Mad Dog.
That's the definition.
I mean, he won the first one.
We should just call it Rick Engelhardt.
I've seen the
You know?
most track shots out of that guy than I've seen from anybody.
Oh my God. He's junked more cars. Think of how many cars he's junked. How many cars went to the junkyard because of him?
The big
14, based on
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Steve Shocking and lead inspector Ben Haas have a busy summer with 4 epic events over 7 nights scheduled all over New York State. At the Ontario County Fair in Canandaigua, New York, July 22nd and 26th. Then the grueling Double Down follows with the Otsego County Fair in Morris planned for July 31st and August 3rd, and the Franklin County Fair in Malone set for August 2nd and 4th. For more details, visit www.totaldestructiondemo.com or call 607-769-6820. O'Reilly Auto Parts proudly presents the Plymouth County Fair July 26th, Lamar's, Iowa. Promoter Brandon Tyson has teamed with Ultimate Derby to bring a national level to one of the most aggressive and largest county fairs.
Yeah, I
in
thought I
America.
fixed that.
3,000 to win modified,
Just so you know.
1,500 to win stock,
pretty sure I fixed
and
that.
1,000 to win comp.
This is
Passengers are welcome if you dare to ride
Yeah,
along.
this
The
already
event is
happened.
streamed free to the public.
A lot of these are.
online
I
with
don't know what
10,000
ad player
people.
this
All
is.
courtesy
I
of
probably
O'Reilly
copied
Auto
the wrong
Parts.
one.
The Plymouth County Fair, July 26th, Lamar's, Iowa. Online at
Enjoy the pictures. Adam Sandow's work.
www.PlymouthCoderby.com.
We'll give him a little bit more.
That's www.PlymouthCoderby.com.
And then this is the trip that is coming up, Wadena County Fair, WadenaCountyFair.com. One of the most outstanding shows that's coming up. Minimum 4,000 to win with a team format out there in Wadena, Minnesota. Minimum 800 to win for the compact trucks, the compact cars, and the chain and go trucks. It's going to be outstanding. The cars that are being built,
Jesse Keel, he said this is not one to miss.
You don't want to miss
the
this
names
thing.
coming with the cars that they're bringing.
Presented by Performance Rear End, Custom Car Crushing, and Double Diamond Motorsports. The names that are coming, you can't miss it.
I can't wait, man.
Rumor has it Josh Decker's running the night before.
My car's ready. It's I think a 08 or 07 Vic. Yes, you heard it, Ben. He says I can't bend the front of it. It's pre-ran. The back's junk, but I'm gonna bend the front of it.
You won't bend it.
Watch me.
You won't.
I'm gonna try.
Well, I mean, we did have some Derby action that happened over the weekend. Congratulations again to Howie Charette for picking up the compact win at the Ontario County Fairgrounds. Corey Neer came away with the win in the full size division of the Chautauqua County Fair on Sunday. The compact win repeating. Brian Gonzalez comes away with the win, and the fair class champion at the Ontario County Fair, hosted by Total Destruction Demolition Derbies, Tim Ellison. So we've got you on the line, man. I appreciate you hanging in there for us. I know we're a little bit late on it, but
Dowd won the Cuba class.
I thought yes, Tommy Dowd.
Sorry, I
on the
wanted to
Cuba
say
class.
that too. He deserved it. He ran
yes,
hard.
definitely,
with
definitely.
his junk equipment.
It was junk. It was junk, but so mobile. I watched the video, man. Dowd was running.
He didn't have
Tim
the guard
was-
in it either.
Tim
either,
running.
Cody.
either guard.
Tim was sending stuff in his heat. You know, Tim, tell us about the week that you've had from Saturday winning heavy hitter at Seneca County to Saturday winning in Ontario County.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I am sorry to hear about Rick. I did just met him this past year at the banquet, and he met me within 5 minutes. He was busting my balls. he was a pretty cool dude,
No doubt.
But I just wanted to say that I didn't think I was gonna finish the season off. I was just gonna stay home. Took my car over to Penny Inn for a Saturday night. Broke the axle within the first 2 minutes in the heat.
That was your brother that did that.
What's that?
No, he's talking about Penny and Tiger.
Yeah, that was his brother who broke the axle at Penny.
Was it?
Well,
Yeah.
I broke the axle. My brother had the Impala. He won the heat.
He's not the one that hit you and broke that?
Oh, I broke his at Waterloo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right, I got
Yeah.
You've been to too many derbies.
Too
Paul.
many derbies.
It's a big circle.
Thursday night, and I took some junk and qualified for the feature twice.
Yep.
And went out in the feature, took fourth with the same car from Thursday. And went over to Canandaigua, and I almost put it back on the trailer because Ben told me I had to change my threaded rod.
That's because I try to keep it equal for all my shows.
We got 9 minutes left. We got
Go ahead, Timmy. Go ahead, Timmy. You did. I'm telling you right now. You drove. I don't want to interrupt you, but you drove a hell of a derby, and I busted your balls afterwards. You know, I always like busting on you, but joking. But you drove one hell of a derby, and you deserved that 100%.
Tell you what, dude, I never had to drive so hard in my life.
What's it like when Dave Early lines up on you from across the track?
Man.
Well, that dude, that 4T, man. I'm telling
Oh, yeah.
No, you're talking
Tim
Tim
Perry.
Perry and that
Tim
Molar.
that thing was a beast.
He was broke, I promise you.
Yep. He made a lot of people pucker.
Yeah.
He was sending stuff.
Yeah, that was impressive. That's the most impressive wife. That Y-framer could run in Utah. That's how tough that sumbitch was.
Really?
Oh.
After the heat, I had my steering was all messed up. When I pulled off the track, it looked like I was driving a school bus.
Yep.
Steering was 90 degrees straight up and
It
down.
was like this. It was like this. No shit. It was like,
I say my dad was there. He cut it all apart, re-welded it all back together. You know, if it wasn't for them guys, I wouldn't. Him and my cousin and my two brothers, I wouldn't have been able to make it back out because there's no way one hit and that steering would have been junk.
Yeah.
And after that, man, I went out there and my brother says, if I can tell you one thing, you listen, stay away from the red, white, and blue car. I didn't get to watch the second heat because I was working on my car. And
Right.
as soon as we go out there, I see the red, white, and blue car. I say, you know what? I'm going to stay away from them. And who's the first person I hit? And I'm like, oh, man, here it comes. And he didn't get me back right at first, but when I was parked sideways, he got me.
oh, he came. He drove the balls off.
What was that guy's name, Ben?
Timmy
He got
Perry.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, right sideways. But it was a good show, man. Like I said, I had to drive that. I had to drive Saturday night.
That was a very, very hard-hitting show.
Oh, yeah, it
You
was
had,
awesome.
You had a lot of top-notch guys out there with you. I mean, Chuck was out there.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Dave Early.
Dave Early.
Dave's always tough, man.
But Chuck, I don't want to take spotlight away from Timmy, but Chuck, after the heat, Chuck's had some back issues, and I'm like, Chuck, this either fixed your back because Sean Amon hit him with that Etzel at like 40, and I'm like, Chuck, I says, Chuck, I says, you're either your back's fine or you're in traction right now. Are you all right?
Right.
Chuck's like glass-eyed. He's like, yeah, and he's reaching out and he's like missing my hand to shake my hand. And I grabbed Chuck's hand. I'm like, good job, Chuck. He goes, seriously, dude, I got hit so hard, I lost my shoe. I had to get my shoe. I lost my shoe. I'm like, I couldn't keep a straight face. I'm like, Chuck, man, you're killing me. You're killing me.
That's awesome.
But,
Yeah, I was filming with Chris, so I was right there, 20 yards from the track, and there was hitting. I mean, they said go, and they went for the whole time. There was a lot of junk made.
There was about 7 cars that forgot Ben didn't have a car around him and almost run him over.
Yeah, all of a sudden, everybody headed to the other end, and there was a pile, and he just kept driving into this. It looked like banger racing for a minute.
Yeah,
they just kept piling in him, and Ben's bouncing and dancing. And for an old guy, he still got some moves. I was impressed, but it was bad.
The first one caught me off guard because he's coming a little faster than I thought. I'm like, I better get out of here.
It was great. I don't even remember who it was, but you could see they went down there for whatever reason to turn around, and then I think it was one of the Wilkins, and then all of a sudden you couldn't see their roof anymore, and then that guy you couldn't see his roof anymore, and then you couldn't see his roof anymore.
What it started with Sean Amon, then Timmy Perry, then the Wilkins, and then 2 other cars.
I think Dave Early and Chuck got involved.
Dave Early.
I don't know who waffled the back of that of one of the Wilkins cars, but it sent the back bumper to the dash bar.
Wasn't it his brother?
It could have been.
I thought it was his own brother in the not I don't know which one was in the caddy, but I thought it was the third brother that didn't run at Waterloo this year. I thought they were in the same heat together, and he was the one that did it.
All I know is
they're way too good of drivers for that, Brian. There's no way that happened.
Frankie Van Houten.
No way that happened.
Frankie Van Houten don't like Crown Vics now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Frankie.
Because let me tell you what, they got him sideways at the one end and hoof.
Pounded him.
He got in the pits. He goes, I got raped, and that thing's junk. And he just walks across the pits.
Yeah. And I mean, Tim, you're able to keep your nose out of a lot of that stuff. I mean, you were in the middle of the track at the right times and at the end of the track at the right times.
Yeah, my wife told me that I pushed somebody clean over to one of the walls or something, and Ben took off running, I guess.
Yeah, that.
I don't.
Yeah. You tipped the jersey. Yeah, you hit the guy, put him over. I think tipped the jersey bar.
Oh yeah, that was in the heat, right? Or was that the feature?
There was a gold Cadillac that got shoved over the wall, but I thought that was Dave that did that.
It don't matter.
I don't
Timmy did push somebody over. Like I said, it was a good. I couldn't be any happier. I mean,
and you had like 60 cars there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
you know, it was.
How many were in a Cuba run?
5.
I say the car that I brought
7.
is the car that flipped tail over at Penn Yan last year, and I ran it at Penn Yan this year, and I didn't change nothing on it but put a halo bar on it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all I did. The only reason I did that is because I seen what happened Tuesday night at Cuba, and it wasn't happening in my car.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous with that
One thing
Imperial
before
about
the
that
show
happening.
ends, Decker, you suck.
What? Hold on, I wasn't even listening. What are you saying?
I missed that one too.
Timmy, I always stick up for you. Why are you saying I suck? What did I do?
Hey, I was waiting for you at Penn Yan, but you didn't show up. It's cool.
I was at Penn Yan. I ran.
Tuesday.
Not on Saturday.
Who cares about Saturday?
Yeah.
Tuesday was the night to be there.
Yeah, that's when the stars
Tim,
shine.
I sold you 2 cars this winter. Why are you saying I suck?
Well, actually,
I'll remember that, young man.
young man,
that.
You're gonna have to come to Seneca County next year,
Oh,
Decker.
man, you better get a neck brace, buddy. Jeez, Tim.
Now he's emotional.
You know I get fired up when I get called out. Chris told me to work on that, but I can't.
You're emotional now.
I get fired up.
Hey, Josh.
I love Timmy.
If you need a hug, I'm here for you, bro. I'm a good hugger.
I'm gonna take it
I'm
on
here.
Tim. I'm gonna take it on
All right, that's
Tim.
cool.
good job, Tim. Tim, but we're right at the top end of this thing. We got the Sauce Podcast coming in right behind us. Once again, Tim, congratulations. I appreciate you taking some time out of your night.
Josh, ask Tompkins about Waterloo. You shouldn't come.
I want to.
Yeah, Terry Riley will beat up on you.
On a separate note, before we end this, I want to congratulate. The heavy hitters. That Timmy Perry had a heavy hitter for Canandaigua. Did an awesome job. Tommy Dowd drove the wheels off a pre-run.
Yeah.
I got to give Cody Riley.
Great job.
Drove the bat shit out of that Crown Vic.
Just
waffle stuff. And the compact driver, Howie
Sherratt.
Howie drove a smart derby.
Yes, he did.
Awesome. And just everybody that came out and supported, I'm happy. Thanks a lot.
Glad you had a good turnout.
Yeah, I want to say something too, and I'm glad Ben brought it up because with everything going on, I kind of forgot about it. Shame on any Cuba guys that were A, building a car and didn't, or B, had one and didn't run.
We gave a lot of
Steve Manichaki paid out $1,625 or $50 plus mileage, and 5 guys ran for it, and they got the money.
An awesome family right there. I had a riot with them Saturday.
We auctioned the car off. The
$1,700.
Actually, Timmy's dad bought the car.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
His new
$1,700.
nickname's Moneybags too by Timmy.
But no, everybody. We just appreciate everybody. Appreciate it.
My old man even bought that car because the money went to wolf hangers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great
And,
reason.
It's about.
Boy, if you hadn't pissed Decker off, he'd sell you a frame section for it, but now you're SOL.
There are still, by the way,
I got one out.
tickets available
Yeah.
for the 7456 two-door Impala raffle, $100 a shot. You can
75, ain't it?
I think it's a 5. Or is it 4?
I can't
It
remember.
is
I've had a couple different years told to me, but
It's a 5 because it's not
a 6. We know that.
4. It doesn't have a 4.
It's a
ball
5.
around it.
Well, it ain't a 6 because it don't got a 6.
Timmy, I just want to say
Can you tell it's
congratulations
Mopar country?
Saturday. And it was an honor being out there with you, buddy.
For the 3 seconds he was out there.
Hey, Tompkins.
Or Manu.
I had a shot on you, but I let you go.
I know. Thank you.
You never
I
passed
appreciate
them up,
that.
dude.
No, absolutely not. It's called education.
Yeah, but I appreciated that. I got enough
It was his first
education.
one.
This is a tribute to Rick, so you should have gave him a Rick shot.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. He got a Rick shot, and that's
I don't know
what
who.
he was all
I
done.
Somebody
got a
stood the
Rick
nose
shot.
right up on it.
You still can't see over the hood out the window or the bumper.
But and a Clarion, down in Clarion, Mike Hopper won the truck division, and Chris Lancey, who was a Brookville car that didn't get the car done, turned around. He came and he won the limited welds. Todd Siopa was second. David Day was third. Congratulations to those guys. Pete Hansen picked up a win in New Jersey. Sunday,
3 for the year.
3 for 3 for the year. Not so bad, but
pro mod.
Been pretty good. Tim, thanks again, man. Congratulations.
He says he's gonna retire soon. It's like, why?
See you guys later.
See you, Tim.
See you, Timmy.
Later.
Factory suck.
Yeah. Tim, you are in some trouble, dude. Jesus, this kid.
He said he's gonna bust your
Does he see what he runs? Jesus. You run junk, man.
But
what are you doing?
Actually, just you can correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but this is your last show, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a hiatus for a while. I think it's just too much, Josh Decker. Yeah, we just been doing so much Derby, and listen, I love everything that we do, but I haven't had a Derby season off. It's not fair to my family. It's not fair to my everything. I need to take care of some stuff at home, clean some stuff up, and then I'll get back to it. You know,
do what you gotta do.
Well, I appreciate you coming up tonight because I know you hadn't even planned on coming tonight, but you came and it's your anniversary.
Does this mean he's going to answer the phone more? Or still ignoring
Foreman, I'm still super busy.
I'm pretty sure he's getting a new phone number.
But
I'll just have
nothing against the show. I just have been so busy. I've been neglecting work a little bit from how much I've been doing.
Not for nothing.
Guys, we got to get out of here. Finish it up.
Not for nothing.
Not for nothing. But I think we remembered a good guy tonight, and we'll have to tear some shit up.
I'm glad I'll be here. I'm glad I was here for it. Because
that's cool.
Jump online once we post the show and got any remembrance or anything like that. We appreciate Jay Tweety and Brad Davis calling, and that's going to do it for this one. Tough one to do, but share some remembrances and remember Rick Engelhardt. Thanks, guys.
That's it.